I was completely comfortable sitting behind a bench, making jewelry and selling. But that's not what you can do to be successful. You got to put yourself out there and you have to let people see you.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode 167. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews, your host today for Thrive by Design. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy and a jewelry designer just like you. And I'm super excited because I just love stories of success. And today I have one of our students on the show, Treadway of A Few Made Designs. And I'm so excited to share this story. And I'm giggling a little bit because, have you ever had that experience when something just crazy happens in your life and you're like, I can't believe that this is happening to me? A year ago at this time, Kina was just like, I'm not even sure if I should be a jewelry designer or not. And now she's thinking about actually quitting her very lucrative job to do her business full time. And I'm telling you this because, we have all sorts of designers in our community, from those who are, already doing like multiple six figures or even probably seven figures. I've heard from whenever I walk the trade shows, I get stopped a lot saying like, oh my gosh, I'm loving your podcast, blah, 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 blah. But we also have designers who are just starting out and in multiple phases of business. And I know a lot of you are doing your jewelry business as a side hustle right now, in addition to your regular job. And some of you have these big dreams of actually leaving your job to go full time. And so we just have some great stories of the designers who've actually done it and done it really well. And I'm thrilled today because we have Kina Treadway on the show, and she's going to tell us about how she set the framework. And then when she basically said, okay, I'm doing this, I'm going to go, was able to increase her sales by 400% in a short 4 months. And you guys, when I tell you this just happened. I'm recording this interview very close to the time that we're actually producing it and putting it live. And so this is all just happened in the last 4 months. So it's really fun. So I'm going to give you a little background on Kina. She is a jewelry designer. She's been in our SOS coaching program for the last 9 months. She joined at the end of the year and she wasn't sure if it was really right for her because she wasn't sure if she wanted to continue with her jewelry business or not. She was, kind of concerned that she was going down a road and she was afraid that if she put herself out there, that people wouldn't respond. And so what I want to tell you is that if you are passionate about your designs and what you're doing, and you can position yourself innovatively enough and have a really strong brand story, that you can have a really successful business, especially if you're thinking about doing this, taking this from like a side hustle to a full-time gig. And for those of you who've been in business for a while, I hope this inspires you for different ways that you can actually continue to grow your already successful business. And I say that because Kina's going to talk about some strategies that she used today that are very simple to grow her sales, to keep focused on her goals so that she was, crushing sales goals, and so that she was getting organic reach on her Facebook page without paying for it, and using the power of live video to actually sell her jewelry and leverage her online presence. And then use that to interplay the online and offline experience that her customers have. And she also talks about how she grew her email list and is using that to get repeat buyers in just a short period of time, guys. So I'm excited to dive into today's episode, and I'm ready to dive in. As you heard me, I almost said I'm ready, let's dive in kind of thing. But before we do, I wanted to take a word from today's sponsor. And today's episode is actually sponsored by Flourish and Thrive Live, our virtual pass. So the theme this year is connection. And I'm really excited about the lineup because, as you know, at Flourish and Thrive, we are always trying to help you really attract your perfect customers, get those people to continue buying from you, or to at least convert the first time, right? And then create a system so that you're re-engaging with them so that they continue to buy from you over and over again. And so we have an amazing lineup this year. And this lineup is really focused on how to create connections with influencers, how to connect with video and your presence, how to connect using organic search tools like SEO, etc. And then we also love helping you create profitable businesses. So of course we have the lovely Robin Kramer doing her masterful talk on creating connections with relationship building strategies that she is the best at. And also we're really focused on diving deep on how your business can be more profitable, how you can protect yourself from spending all your money and actually encouraging your business to be profitable. And we have a really great speaker who's going to be talking about the profits first method coming and how basically a business of any size can continue to be profitable. And I want to tell you a quick story here. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but I think this conversation is really important because I was doing almost $1 million in revenue and I didn't have a lot of profit to show for it. And I've talked to designers who are doing maybe $50,000 a year who have highly profitable businesses. So what we're here to teach you is how to make the most of what you have, how to think strategically about how you're launching, growing, and scaling your business, and how to create continual connections using your website as a tool. So we're going to be diving into some ninja strategies over the course of the 2 days and dive deep into many of the designers who are attending live into their businesses. Because one of my favorite things to do are hot seats. And there's so much value in this. So I really encourage you to block out the 26th and the 27th to come join us for the live stream. You're going to definitely want to pay full attention and grab your virtual pass today. So if you're interested in joining us, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/virtual pass. And I'll also have a link in the show notes so that you can grab it. All right, let's dive into today's episode with Kina Treadway. Well, I'm excited here today because I have Kina Treadway of Few Made Jewelry here on the show today. And Kina is a superstar. I am just so proud of everything that she has done in the last 9-ish months or so. And I'm saying 9-ish because she came and joined us for one of our coaching program, SOS, and has made such significant leaps and bounds. And I specifically asked her to be on the show with me today because she took on a challenge, a couple of challenges actually this year to really up-level her business. And I've seen tremendous growth when the girl is just like working on a jewelry business part-time. So Kina, thanks for being here and congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's so amazing to be here. I'm excited.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to start. Just tell us a little bit about you and your jewelry brand and kind of like what's going on in your life.
Well, a lot's going on in my life, but the main thing for me has really been able to create a life that I have dreamt of through this program. Most of my career has been professionally in asset management, which is a big shift away from what I'm doing now. But yes, I'd love to create and to travel. And it was on a trip on the edge of a bungee jump that really gave me the courage to change my life, which is the beginning of my journey with SOS and this whole business.
So great. It's so great. And so we did a maker video with Kina in April, and we were talking about how she decided to like basically launch her company. And I'm just going to kind of explain my understanding of it. She'd been going through like a slightly rough patch personally, and we don't have to dig into that, but she just wanted to like not end her life like feeling, not that you're old, but like, like we all have things that we want to accomplish. And as you know, I'm a little bit older and like it's important to me now at this phase of my life to be focused on the things that I want to be remembered for. Right. And I feel like that was sort of what I got out of it. Like you were like, there were certain things that you were putting on hold, waiting for something to happen. And there you are about to bungee jump off this and you jumped off and you're like, I'm never looking back. I am going to go for it.
Yes.
That's sort of what I got.
It was very true. But the big thing is that I think I was letting fear hold me back in a lot of areas. Mm-hmm. The fear of, can I make it, doing the things I really want to do, and the fear of, failing, right? Which a lot of us experience. And I took that trip with my sisters and they were all in on the jump, and being afraid of heights was like, oh no, you shouldn't do it. You have children. This is ridiculous. But then I realized as I was watching them that if I didn't participate in this, I was missing out on an experience and a moment that I could never get back that I wanted to share with them. And so I did it.
It's so awesome. So I want to hear just a little bit more about how your business has grown over the past couple of months. Like, what are some of the things that have happened? Because when you came to us, you had never sold more than $2,000 in jewelry in a single month. And you'd taken our Laying the Foundation course, and then you decided to make a big investment in your business and join us at SOS. So tell us about some of the changes that have happened in your business. And then we're going to get into some of the details of how you made that happen.
Yes. Well, I think the biggest change for me initially being a part of the program was the mindset that I had, which was I finally didn't have any more excuses as to why I couldn't do this. I had the support and I had the coaches. And for me, it was really about finding my brand voice and how could I connect with an audience. So that was the biggest struggle that I had coming in, and also the biggest change that I've had within my business now, because I feel that finally I have a voice that I can share in a way that people can connect with the brand. And also that has given me an audience.
Yeah.
And the audience was through Facebook and also through doing live events that were suggested to me, which was also very scary. Like, oh my God, I don't want to go out there like this.
You mean like the Facebook Live, or going like physically in person and doing live events?
Well, no, Facebook Live. And yeah, it's hard, I think, as an artist to put yourself, for me anyway, to put myself out there in a very public way. I was completely comfortable sitting behind a bench, making jewelry and selling, right? But that's not what you can do to be successful. You can't do that. You've got to put yourself out there and you have to let people see you and be a part of the brand, right? And so I wouldn't have done that had I not been a part of this group. Just would not.
It's so great. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the things that you did, because this is so fun. So the first thing that you did, and I'm going to talk about like the main highlights, but there's so many other things that you've done. So I want to kind of like walk you through that. But I also want to get into some of the granular details about how you made it happen, because I think that's what adds value, how people can see like how it's possible for them. Because I know I talk to designers like day in, day out. I'm like messaging them on Instagram, DMing, and they're like, I really want to make this work, but is it really going to be possible for me? And so I have this challenge because I love being challenged personally, even though sometimes it causes tension or like angst inside of me. I love like accomplishing things. And so for me, like we're always coming up like it's about every other month with the challenge of the month for SOS. And in May, I was inspired by my coach because he was like, the challenge this month is to like, and he had a goal. And so I'm like, you know what would be like a reasonable goal? Like a lot of these designers are trying to reach $100,000 in sales a year, because that's like the first tier of success here in SOS that we're trying to get the people who aren't already there. We have a whole group that's an upper tier that's already there, and then we're trying to get them to their next level. But that's the first bump for a lot of the designers. So if you do the math, that's $8,500 a month in order to get to that goal. So we did $8,000 in May, well, $8,500 in May, but like, whatever, we just rounded it to 8. And you took the challenge, and you had never sold more than $2,000 in a month before that. It happened in basically like the 11th hour. You got this done.
The 11th and a half hour. It was so like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
Okay, so walk me through the process. Like, how did you just raise the bar for yourself to actually like make that happen first and foremost? And what are some of the things that you did to actually hit the goal?
Well, for me, when you put out the challenge, it was exactly like what happened on that bungee jump, which was the fear, the angst that you talked about, the resistance. This could never really happen to me, but I didn't want to be left out. Other people were chiming in, I'm in. And it's like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I just have to commit, and then we'll see how it goes day by day. Gave myself an easy out, right? That I'm going to participate, but we'll see. And so that's how it started. And I remember that day, on the first day of the month, writing at the top of my daily calendar, $8,000. And then each day after, I continued to write the $8,000 at the top, but every sale I made, I reduced the figure down on my daily calendar.
So you knew exactly how much you had to make up.
Oh, are you kidding? I was tracking to the penny. I mean, seriously. And that's exactly what started. And then on that day, I would see, what am I doing that is producing revenue for me today? What can I do to produce revenue? And so I started to plan the days out that way. Of course, I looked at the month overall and decided, okay, here's some bigger things that I can do on the calendar to generate sales as well. But it also really came down to the day. And that's how it really was super important for me, because it made me realize that I wasn't planning my days this way. I wasn't scheduling my month this way. If revenue was to be in a big part of my business, where were the goals for it? And I realized that really my goal had been just making jewelry and then selling it, right? And so it had to really happen in my head first, with that goal. And that goal was the key.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
It's awesome. And so what were some of those things that you did every single day?
So every day I would go through my calendar. I had things scheduled that I had 2 major trunk shows that I had asked friends. I said, okay, who do I have? Where are my resources, right? So I had friends that love my jewelry. I had clients that love my jewelry. And then I said, okay, who within that group would be willing to do an event for me?
Okay.
That would host it and would invite their friends that weren't necessarily people that I'm currently selling to.
Okay, cool.
So I looked in my friend group and I looked to those people that I felt were aligned with my dream client as close as I could get.
Yep.
And started there and started putting out feelers as to who might be interested. And if they were going to do that, then I would give them some jewelry and we would have a kind of fun night with some wine and cheese. And so, yeah, they were in. So I had 2 really strong people that committed and really made an all-out effort for me.
Awesome. And then did you, at the shows, were you like building your email list there? Were you
Yes.
getting like new customers by doing those shows so that you can sell to them after?
Yes. And keep in mind, my email list when I started this was about, I think, 90 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was important. And that was one of the things that you guys had really impressed upon me to start building. That was first and foremost. So everybody in the door, was about signing the email list, making sure we communicate with you on a regular basis. And so, yeah, everybody was signing in and, giving the email addresses. So that was perfect. And then
Awesome.
I just kind of gave a little introduction as to who I am and about the brand and stayed with them and answered questions, picked out pieces for people, talked about their lives, what they were doing. So yeah, it was amazing. It was supposed to be an hour-and-a-half event each one. They ended up going double that time because people were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great. That was fun.
So, and you said you started with 90 people. At the end of those trunk shows, what did your list end up being?
At the end of it, the 2 trunk shows, I was around 150.
Okay, awesome. So I want to just drive this home. Like for some of you, that might not seem like a lot of people. It might seem like a small list. But what I want to tell you is that it's not the quantity of the list, it's the quality of the people on that list. Correct. So these were all engaged, warm people who are buying jewelry from Kina, who are more than likely going to be buying from her again. And I don't know if you've experienced that. I didn't even ask you that question, but have any of these people bought from you again already?
My gosh, I would say probably at least 40% have returned either via Facebook Live events that I've done, through custom orders, or through orders on the website.
Shut up.
No, I'm not joking. It's been amazing.
So this is a really great example of how you can bounce back in-person events to help build your online presence and get people buying from you virtually. And, one of the things that I really stress in the SOS program is that we're using our website and our online presence as our number one selling tool. And I was just with someone last night in the industry and, she was just saying websites are basically your digital business card. It's how people understand who you are. And that is a tool to continue to sell. I think a lot of people think that they can just set it and forget it, but it takes work, and this is really about building relationships. And that's exactly what you're doing. And as long as she can continue to foster and create those relationships, she will continue to get these people buying from them again. And that's the core, buying from her again, I should say. And that's the core of our SOS model. It's really about connecting with the right people, converting those people into customers, and then re-engaging them for repeat business. And this is that is how you build a business. It's not about just a ton of traffic to your site and this churn and burn thing. It's about building relationships, and it starts to snowball. And the more you can do it, the more success that you're going to have. So that's just awesome. Yes. So you're talking about your Facebook Live sales, and we actually did a little hot seat on how you can use videos yes. the other day, just for like a different purpose, because I wanted to have you on our Facebook Live show. So talk about how you're using Facebook Live trunk shows to kind of reconnect with these people.
Well, because of the 8K in May challenge, I really had to step outside of the box and find new ways to reach people. And I had never done any video or type of engagement whatsoever. Again, like I said, I wanted to stay from behind the camera.
Yeah.
And so I knew I couldn't do it with this. And I thought, all right, I've got to do another event and I've got to keep the sales going. So why don't I try to do this on Facebook Live? And I'd listened to one of your podcasts with Lisa Lehman and decided, okay, I'm going to give this a go. And used my email list that I had and Facebook to gear up for that, and sent out emails and an invitation and created a Facebook event and went live for the first time. It was so
great.
Again,
so great.
It was like being on the edge of that bungee, so much angst, like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is insane. Right before, this is just, I don't know, even just the whole video thing in itself was crazy. So yeah, and went live. And of course, you watch the ticker, right, of the number of people that are showing up. And I said, okay, I'm not going to watch this, and we're just going to go. And what I did decide to do is a security blanket for me. I invited actually my beautiful cousin to be my model so that I could talk with her and then put the jewelry on. And it was for an hour and a half. And yeah, it was amazing. Amazing. After the first 15 minutes, I finally calmed down and relaxed inside. It was like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. And then after an hour and a half, I didn't want to stop. I don't know what happened. I just became possessed with the whole selling online because people were commenting and talking and buying jewelry. And it was awesome. It was really, really great.
Well, I love this. I love that you said that. It's like you're energized by the video and the sales coming in and all that stuff. How did those trunk shows, you've been doing a few, how did they work out?
Well, crazy. So I had somebody behind the scenes who was answering the questions and telling people that, hey, it's sold and blah, blah, blah. So they did great. I mean, I think on the first trunk show, it was around $2,000 at the end of the show. But then what happened was I decided that the trunk show, even though the live event was over, that I was going to extend these pieces through the weekend. And that if anyone wanted to purchase any of these, they could message me. And that's what happened. So people began messaging me saying, hey, I looked at that video again, and do you have this, or can I purchase that? So I think I ended up at the end of it through the weekend getting another maybe $1,500 in sales from that. And then I was also able to see which items were the most popular so that I could gauge what I would be putting on my website. So I kind of was using it as a focus group too, to determine what I was going to be doing on the next show, what was selling, what wasn't, and what could I put on the website from there.
That is so awesome. So you use this almost as a test run to see, prove which pieces were that people liked the most so that you knew what to develop.
Yes. And from there, what I decided was, okay, those people that show up to my live event are really VIP customers, right? Because they're taking the time to show up. They want to be there. So I need to offer them an opportunity. And what I decided was that before any of the products go onto the website, I'm going to offer them via the live sale first, give them first dib on those limited quantities that I have through the weekend. And after the weekend, they go up for sale on the website. So they would be giving the exclusive in terms of getting those products first on the next.
Awesome. So the next event, they get the first look.
Yes, correct.
Awesome. Great. And how has that worked so far?
well, it's great. Now people are saying, well, is there any way we can see pictures first? It's like, oh no. But what I did do is I realized that it was a lot of work on the live event in offering the products just via the video, right? So I posted pictures on the second event as the event was going on of item number 1 through 20.
So did you do that in the comments below?
Yes. So
okay.
Then they were able to see the pictures, not only during the event, but also if I was referencing, they knew what I was talking about. But then through the weekend, if they were interested in purchasing, they could refer back to item number 5 and have the picture, and we'd be on the same page for that, because it was a little bit confusing on the first video as to which piece they were talking about sometimes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So I love that. And so you told me about what happened to your analytics and how organic reach is just totally increasing for you on Facebook, because your audience is primarily on Facebook.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So what I did was I went back and looked for my last 28 days in August. I had another live event, but it gives you the overview. And so on the videos alone, the views have increased 16,311%. On the post engagement, they have increased 4,773%. Page followers has increased 850%. My page likes increased 700%. Actions on the page, 1,300%. And page views, 597%. And overall reach is up 1,763%.
That's insane.
It was, because when I looked at this right before our call, I was shocked. I mean, the videos is specific to the videos.
Yeah.
The views. I mean, and I didn't do anything to boost these videos. This is all organic numbers.
Yeah. I can't even imagine like if and when you start boosting, like what that's going to do for your business. And I know you're going to start running ads soon and have a strategy around that. So that's fun. And you're working with one of our coaches to do that, right?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Awesome. So Kathleen Cutler is one of our coaches. She specializes in Facebook ads, particularly for product and jewelry businesses. She built a jewelry company, was helping them do like crazy e-commerce numbers with her marketing and ad strategies. So she's like really thinking of it from, and I'm going to use like marketing terms, but the top through all the way to the bottom of the funnel on how it works. So I'm excited to see what your results are with that pretty soon, which will be fun. So was there anything else that you did to do you know how much you are up in sales this year so far?
Well, I was
by percentage or anything. I don't know.
No, I honestly have not even had a chance to run the numbers. But I mean, for me, the biggest jump was from $2,000 to the $8,000. And now I'm at a point where I'm considering not continuing in my professional career outside of the jewelry business.
Nina, oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
It is, because that was one of the reasons why I determined that I wanted to work with Kathleen, because I feel that based on these numbers and based on what I've been able to do so far, that I could safely do that and be comfortable. So
that's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about how your business has grown? So we talked about some of these amazing things that you've done. You know, you had the 8K in May, you're crushing it with these Facebook live sales. Your organic reach is increasing. So you don't have to share specific numbers, but like by percentage, like how much is your business growing? Or you can share whatever you want. I'm not gonna.
Well, for me, the business has increased over 400%. And that is, it's huge. And it's still growing. And I believe that it'll continue to grow because of the Facebook Live events and other things that I'm doing online and that I have coming up in the pipeline. So 400% is a huge jump. I mean, and considering that I also do this on a part-time basis.
It's crazy.
It is really crazy. Very crazy. I never imagined, truly.
Do you think that the results exceeded your expectations?
Oh, beyond. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I had no idea that I would ever be sitting here talking with you about my sales. I mean, come on, really. I mean, I came into this program with not a whole lot of goods to back this up. But I also knew that if I was ever going to do it, that this would be the program that would allow me to do it because of the support that I would receive. And it's proven to be true. I mean, who can argue with 400% increase in sales?
No, who can? I mean, I don't know about that.
No.
Can't.
No.
Okay, cool. So we also produced a maker video with you in April, which was really fun.
Oh my God.
What was that experience like?
Again, I have resisted internally. I don't know why, because everything's so new for me in terms of being on the forefront of the business. And again, the video portion was prior to the live event. So that was the big first hurdle for me, which was to commit to that, to get in front of the camera and then put myself out there and being able to articulate the brand voice in a way that I'd be comfortable with. But having done that and gotten my video, I was absolutely blown away because of the prep work that you gave me prior to the video and then actually asking those questions. It just evolved in a way I could not have even imagined. Not to mention the quality and the beauty of the video. I mean, I watched it the first time and cried.
It was really good. I mean, they all came out so good.
They all did. It wasn't just mine, but I cried because it was finally hearing the brand voice, seeing it in a professional manner, and realizing that the dream that I had coming into this was actually before me in a video that I could show my clients. So that was just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So exciting. Wow, this is so great. This is the first time you told me too that, I mean, we've talked, obviously, like I helped you with the maker video and I was like behind the scenes working with you on that. I witnessed you do the AKMA. We just recently talked about all these Facebook Live things and all the accountability and all the progress that you made, but you didn't tell me that you were thinking about quitting your job. So this is like super exciting for me because I know that for so many designers, I know when I was starting out and doing my business part-time for so many years, it was scary to actually quit my job and take the leap because I felt like I had this financial security working for someone else. And to see you kind of go through this evolution of like not even being sure if you want to do this business, if it's really legitimate, to getting over the fear of starting and launching and going, and then seeing you kind of go full out, and learning about this. First learning about us through laying the foundation course, but then like taking that big jump to go straight to SOS from that. It's just, I just want to congratulate you because like it's hard, especially, at different stages in our lives to do something that feels like a big risk when we feel like something else might be more secure. But it's truly my belief. And so I want to congratulate you on that. But it's truly my belief that entrepreneurship and being self-employed, like however you want to describe it, creating your own business and your own company offers so much more security when you're doing it the right way because you're doing something that you love. You can control your income. You can exceed your income ceiling at your regular job, but it does take courage. And you've talked about that a few times. So I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Thank you. It does take courage. And it is something that I think a lot of people resist because of that. And, but I've also found through this journey with SOS and my own personal journey that it's in that vulnerability and in that moment that you can really find your greatest strengths. And that for that, I'm really grateful for this group.
So awesome. I'm just so excited for you and so excited for your success. So I just want to ask you as we kind of wrap up this interview, like what was it that made you kind of take the leap to join us in SOS?
I think for me, the reason why I decided to make the investment in myself and in the business was because I would have the access one-on-one specific to my business and where I was at that moment with the coaching and with the group as a whole. And that it allowed me to be right where I was, to come in and get the help that I needed on a regular basis. And then also to have the support around that to help make that grow and flourish. So, and to have the expert advice for these people that were the coaches. How else can you do that? You can't.
They're so amazing, right?
You can't. Yeah, you just can't. And they look at your business holistically, and then they take their expertise and say, this is how I think you should apply it. And then the group as a whole, you help determine the path that we take and what the steps are going to be. And I think that's also key in terms of the strategy that we need to push ourselves there. Yeah. So that was really the reason why I decided to join and make the investment. So,
was there at any point where you're thinking like, what am I doing? This is crazy. This is like,
oh my God, yeah. I remember on the first call with Abby, I was very straightforward and said, Abby, I said, the only way that I can do this group is if I know people are going to be straight up and honest, if this, I can really make it. And if my jewelry is okay enough to be out there and, I need to know. And she said, oh, you'll get that, it will be good and everything will be fine. And I said, yeah, because if I'm going to do this, then I want to do it knowing that I have the goods to back it up, with my product. So if you can tell me that they'll be honest with me about it coming into it. And she said, yes, absolutely. And that's what I did. I came in and I met with Jess on my first call, and she did an overall assessment on the website and the jewelry, and then just kind of said, here, you need to kick this in gear, and this is how you do it. And from there, it's just been forward.
And here, yeah, it's just like basically we've just been giving you step by step.
Yes.
Here's what's next. And wow, it's just wonderful to see your business grow.
I'm super excited, and very thankful for this group and what you've created for all of us out here.
Thanks, Kina. Where can people find you?
Well, my website is fewmadejewelry.com. You can also join me on our monthly live events on Facebook, FewMade, and Instagram is #FewMadeJewelry.
Love it. Love it. You mean at symbol?
Yes.
At symbol FewMadeJewelry. But you can probably also follow her hashtag and find her at handle.
Yeah, you can tell I'm still learning on the whole social media platform.
Kina, you are so awesome. Thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening today. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Isn't Kina's story just so inspiring? So I hope that you are going to join us for Flourish and Thrive live on our virtual pass this year. You're definitely going to want to see like how we're transforming designers' lives. And if you're interested in learning more about SOS, I will put a link in the show notes so that you can check out what it's all about and perhaps get on a clarity call or a game plan call with one of our coaches. Thank you so much for listening today. I would love to hear what you think of the show. So if you love what you're here, give us a rating and a review so we know how we're doing. Thanks again. And this is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.